Hello, MJ here again. So I have been getting some feedback about the posts with relationships and suggestions and positive affirmations, especially if you are on the receiving end. It has been going on since October, and the more people that I see as clients, for myself when I'm doing my sessions, or that I see walk in here and asking for stones or resins or anything that they can have so that they can help a situation with relationships. Again, energies of the moons. We've been talking about these relationships, and it was going to happen for about a good 4 months. And we were hoping that once we get into the Pisces season that the veils would have been dropped. If they didn't, this is a bear right now, and I mean a bear for people. It hurts. It hurts our heart. It hurts our egos, and we start suffering. So when I put my posts up, I'm not putting them up to do anything else besides hopefully it offers a benefit to those who are going through some of the same energy. We all go through the same energy at the same time. It's like a big wave. If you have to clear this energy, you're going to get in it. If it's something that you don't have to clear, you don't feel it. But the majority of the people who have to clear it will feel it through these energies. We're getting here on our next week because the following week then would be our full moon. So we're going to be back into our full moon where we can release everything that was not wanted to begin with. And so you have another chance here at this full moon to do that. However, something I want to tell you. If your relationship has had, and it doesn't, I'm not talking partners, I mean any type of friendship, any type of children, a relationship with your child, a mother, parent, friends, co-workers. I'm talking about everything. So if you've had that relationship and that person, all of a sudden, after a trauma or a tragedy, isn't acting the same, let's get further into our relationships. What's going on? Because the person's not really acting correctly, or they're acting almost like a little bit of bipolar, where we call it that, but in the metaphysical, maybe we have a walk-in. So I'm telling you this because a lot of people already know my story about Esmeralda. Why is the name Esmeralda and not MJ? And my story's still going to happen, and I'm still going to write the books, and I know everybody's wanting, but for those of you who know, I had to deal with walk-in souls. I had to get rid of Esmeralda and Honora. I had to. It was in my contract. I wrote it. And as a child, when I was at a near-death situation, I got a walk-in by the name of Esmeralda. I got her. When people go through major traumas and their soul is too weak, but they don't want to cross and they don't want to leave, they actually step back and allow a walk-in soul, entity, energy to come in its place. Sometimes you'll see people at the hospital who are in a coma, and all of a sudden their vitals do great, and then they don't. And then their vitals do great, and then they don't. Right? That switch. Well, this is energies coming in to say, "Oh, I can have. Here's a vessel. Here's a vessel because that soul's not good enough, and I can override that soul." And this is what they do. This happens more than we know. When we have a relationship and we have a loved one who has gone through such a trauma, and we don't know about this type of walk-in or this soul on top of a soul, life can get really, really bad for you. Because it's almost as if these people are bipolar. They love you one day and they hate you the next. Or they do things that are beautiful in a relationship pattern, but then they go and they do something else that is not beautiful. This is happening And this is what these veils are uncovering. If your partner or your friend or your parent or somebody has gone through a life trauma where they have almost died and had been unconscious for an amount of time, please, please come see us, because it is plausible that our soul could not suffice. Some people call it taking the mask off. Some people call it just entity removals. Some people call it soul removals. Some people call it Akashic transfers, or changing our Akashics, or bringing in. But there are healers out there. We're here. This group of light therapy people, we have the ability to do that. And we have the ability to draw up Akashics and help you. And help that person. But we have to make sure it's the truth, right? So we have to have that balance with the Western medicine, Eastern medicine, alternative medicines. This is what we have to do. We have to go through it. Yeah. Is the person who is suffering with either the abuse or with the problem and can't even understand it, having to be a strong person? Yeah, absolutely. You do. And you have to have that heart space so open. Because when you have your heart space that open, ego goes away. Judgment goes away. And take your fingers and go like this to anybody who has something that they want to tell you that you shouldn't be staying or you shouldn't be doing. That's their judgment and ego. That's not yours. That's not yours at all. And I need you to be very clear on this. We could tell our partners to go away. But why? What changed? Why are they doing stuff? What's happening? What's going on? Is your heart rooted? Because that's the messages I keep getting. Where's the roots to this heart? It's somewhere. Let's figure it out together. So, moral of the story, if you have somebody in your life, or you know somebody in your life who you can't even fathom why they're back and forth or they're flip-flopped, and we want to ball Western medicine, send them to psychology, send them to a counselor. Let's pray that you choose a counselor that understands both sides, the metaphysical and the physical, because you can't help anybody without both sides, especially with a soul that has taken over. I know it's weird. I know it's sci-fi. I understand some of the skeptics, but if you're on this channel and you're listening, you're not that skeptic. You're looking for hope, and you have the faith that Father, Mother, God is going to help you. I believe that to be the truth for me. I believe it to be the truth for my clients. I believe that to be the truth for a lot of people. So, before you say, get out, or this relationship is over, dig deeper. Because you wouldn't have taken a sacred vow if you didn't dig deeper. Because you loved him on that day, or her, or you had a daughter or a son that you loved on that birth, or you had a parent who birthed you. These are all relationships, all kinds. But look deeper. Don't just let your ego go, get away from me. Because that's what the ego does. It wants to make you suffer. It wants to make you feel like you have all control of everybody. But you don't. You don't have any control except for you. I don't even take in people's energy when it's ugly. So don't do it. And that's what happens when souls walk in. People get confused. People get depressed. People get sad. Guarantee you, if you saw somebody who you're like, I don't even know who this person is anymore, they have a walk-in. Come see us. Pick up the phone, dial, and come see us. Because this needs to be out there. This needs to be clear. So all the big pharmacy medicines that they want to put people on for bipolars and all these other things, did they really check the metaphysical? Did they? Are you really going to put your body with a risk before you check the metaphysical side? I wouldn't. And I would tell my family and my friends, don't do it. Balance first. Figure out what the core is. Figure out. Don't just label. That's the problem. Labeling. We're always labeling somebody. We're always judging. We're always using that ego. I got it. Because I can't even help my clients, my customers, without somebody coming back to me and saying, hey, what's going on? Nothing. I'm trying to help cure the population. That's all. If I can do it in mass numbers by allowing people to know what the energy is, and they know somebody or themselves going through it, well, guess what? We're here. We're helping. This is what light workers and healers do. We look for the source, and we don't stop until we find that source, because there's always an answer. There's always an answer. There's always a reason. Always. Divine timing, divine process, divine knowing. I love you all. Stay within love. Stay within your heart. Ask the questions. Don't let your ego. Tap that thymus. Tap that thymus. Breathe. Let that ego go away. Come back to heart. Come back to love. Come back to light. And you'll find it. I promise. You'll find the joy that you want inside that soul. I love you all. 305-342-5995. Call if you need help. We're here. I'm here. And I will do everything I can possibly do in order to try to help you if I'm allowed by divine grace. Namaste.